pioneers and pathfinders, the Voortrekkers, and the creation of South Africa. Created by Chris Kanyan, founder and president of the Afrikaner Museum of Knowledge. This is the story of the Afrikaners, the Boer, the Dutch, the Voortrekker, the Pathfinders, the shapers of modern South Africa. If we are to move forward as a nation, we must tell the whole story. The good and the bad, the inspiring and the tragic. Only then can we honor the past while building a future rooted in justice, understanding, and mutual respect. Let us resist the temptation of the single story and instead embrace the truth in all its complexity. The Great Trek. What a monumental exodus it was. A tale of daring hearts and unbreakable wills. Picture it. The Great Trek is the story of the Boer, the Afrikaners refusing to be controlled and told what to do by the mighty British Empire in Cape Town. And so he moved out of Cape Town, exploring the vast land of South Africa, cutting bushes and settling, creating towns that even today we still enjoy. So they moved out in the great spirit of self-determination. Endless lines of ox-drawn wagons, their wooden wheels groaning against the unyielding earth. As they rolled across the rugged South African landscape, the air was thick with dust kicked up by the caravan, mingling with the scent of sweat, leather, and the faint aroma of wild grass crushed underfoot. Men, women, and children moved forward, their faces weathered by the sun, their eyes steeled with determination. They left behind the comfort of the familiar, choosing instead to chase freedom into the unknown. The terrain was merciless, rocky mountain passes, dense forests, and arid plains stretched endlessly before them, each step a challenge to their strength and endurance. Yet, they pressed on. At night, they circled their wagons into loggers for safety, fires crackling as shadows danced against the canvas covers. Around these flames, they sang hymns, their voices rising into the star-studded heavens, proclaiming their faith and fortitude. Children huddled close, clutching dreams as their parents spoke of a future not yet seen, but deeply believed in. Danger was ever present. Wild animals roamed the night, their cries a haunting reminder of the untamed wilderness. Hostile encounters tested their courage, yet they stood firm, guarding their families and their hopes with unflinching resolve. Hunger gnawed at their bellies, and the scorching sun blistered their skin, but their spirits remained unbroken. The Great Trek was not merely a journey. It was a statement, an act of defiance against oppression, and a declaration of their right to carve out a place of their own. These were people of audacity, builders of a legacy forged through sacrifice and struggle. They were architects of resilience, daring to confront the unknown and triumph over it. Today, their story stands as a beacon, reminding us that greatness is born not from comfort but from courage. They were pioneers, in the truest sense, blazing trails, not just across the land, but into the very soul of a nation. Let us honor their memory with awe, for theirs was a saga of indomitable human spirit, a legacy etched into the heart of South Africa forever. This is the danger of the single story, a narrative that reduces a people, a culture, or a history to a single defining trait, often their worst sin. To brand the Afrikaner solely with the burden of apartheid is to rob them of their humanity, their struggles, and their contributions. It is to ignore the complexity of their story and flatten it into a one-dimensional caricature. Are we to forget the resilience of the Voortrekkers, who braved uncharted wilderness to build towns and communities that still stand today and we enjoy? Are we to dismiss their audacity, their ingenuity, and their ability to endure unimaginable hardships? What? Are we to forget their hardship and pain to create a legacy that laid the foundation for this mighty African nation? These were people who, like all of us, were flawed but also capable of greatness. A sweeping tale of adventure and triumph. The Voortrekkers' bold forays into South Africa's heartlands. Immerse yourself in the exhilarating saga of the Voortrekkers, the intrepid pioneers who ventured into the deep, mysterious forests of South Africa. With the joyous and celebratory tone, the narrative captures the essence of the Voortrekkers' mission, transforming dense forests and rolling plains into vibrant towns filled with life, culture, and promise. Their forays into the heartlands are not just tales of survival. They are the triumphant anthems of a people who believed in the beauty of what could be, who turned the wilderness into a homeland where the spirit of community thrived. They made mistakes like everyone makes mistakes. Humanity must be allowed to make its errors. Feel the pulse of history. The history of South Africa. Your history. The history of the Boer, the Dutch, the Afrikaner. Learn about their great qualities. As these brave pathfinders pushed beyond the known, into the unknown, their dreams painting the canvas of South Africa, with stories of resilience, innovation, and unity. Indeed, errors are the unregistered provisions in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The story of the Afrikaners people. This remarkable people has been buried, and only their historical mistakes defining them. It is false to assume that everything about the Boers, the Afrikaners, the white man of South Africa is all about apartheid. The danger of a single story lies in its power to create stereotypes, limit perspectives, and erase the complexity of human experiences. When a single story about a person, culture, or group is told repeatedly, it begins to define them in narrow, often distorted ways. This incomplete version of reality oversimplifies lives, reducing individuals to one-dimensional characters and robbing them of their humanity. So how do we begin this story? Whose is the Afrikaner? The Afrikaner does not seek your pity, nor does he wish to be seen as a victim deserving of charity. He rejects handouts born of condescension, for such gestures insult the very core of his identity. The Afrikaner, by his nature, is not one to tolerate laziness or idleness. His pride is rooted in hard work, self-reliance, and an unyielding determination to shape his own destiny. This is a people forged in the crucible of adversity, who have risen time and again from the ashes of hardship with their heads held high. They do not ask for favors or sympathy. They ask only for the opportunity to build, to labor, and to thrive through their own efforts. To them, dignity lies not in what is given, but in what is earned through the sweat of their brow and the strength of their resolve. This is a people forged in the crucible of adversity, who have risen time and again from the ashes of hardship with their heads held high. They do not ask for favors or sympathy. They ask only for the opportunity to build, to labor, and to thrive through their own efforts. To them, dignity lies not in what is given, but in what is earned through the sweat of their brow and the strength of their resolve. Let us not diminish their resilience by framing them as victims. Instead, let us recognize the unwavering spirit that refuses to bow to circumstances. The Afrikaner stands as a testament to the enduring power of grit and determination. A reminder that pride comes not from what one receives, but from what one achieves. To not see the greatness of the Afrikaner is what constitutes a primal error, a deficiency in responsive capabilities, a condition of mental enslavement, where stagnation, retrogression, or diminution of those very virtues, those very progressive qualities that make even self-fulfillment possible, stare a people in the face. However, then, surely, the imperative of change becomes irresistible, and its horizons exert the pressure of inevitability. That immense call fell upon the shoulders of the Voortrekkers, the PathFinders, the Afrikaners, the Boers. The Boers. Yes, the Afrikaners are great people. A great people of courage. A great people of dedication. A great people of creativity. A great people of strength. A great people of sheer hard work. Learn from the Boers. Learn from the Afrikaner. The Boer, the Afrikaners fight of the bitter end. Learn this basic lesson of life, if ever you want to become something. The Boers, the Afrikaners endured the harsh terrain of Africa and cut bushes, and turning those bushes into towns and teas we enjoy today. Yet these very great people made the gravest mistake in the history of human beings. The Boers, the Afrikaners, did something that was grievously wrong and bad. They created apartheid, the systematic demonization of the black South Africans. I make mistakes. You make mistakes. They make mistakes. Yes. Indeed. Instead of opening their arms of love to allow the black people to share into their labors and courage, the Boer, the Afrikaner, closed those arms and made fists and punched the black people. How could they do that? Why? That is what we are saying here. So what now? We repeat. Humanity must be allowed to make its errors. Human beings are allowed to make mistakes. These great people of South Africa, the PathFinders, the Voortrekkers, the Boers, the Afrikaans people made mistakes. Very much so that you, yourself, make mistakes. Indeed, mistakes and errors are the unregistered provisions in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. We must accept errors. Reality is what it is. It is not for us to determine reality. Our role is to adapt to reality. We are one human race, and must live with one another, as loving and forgivingly as is humanly possible. It is in love and forgiveness that peace and joy lies. Forward ever. Backward, never. Humanity must be free to make mistakes. In fact, mistakes, though unmentioned, are a part of our basic rights as human beings. But not all mistakes are equal. The worst mistakes are those that come from fear of questioning what we've accepted without thinking or what others have forced upon us. When we fail to face the noise and confusion that often come with the desire for change, we make a serious mistake. This is not just a small error, it's a failure to think for ourselves, a form of mental slavery. Change is not something to fear. It comes from our curiosity, creativity, and the desire to improve life. But change doesn't mean we should destroy what is good and still serves us well. Instead, it should build on the values that make us human and bring us together to make life better for everyone. However, when we're stuck in ways that hold us back, when we see progress slipping away or our hopes fading, then change becomes necessary. It becomes something we can't avoid, like a tide we must ride to survive. This is the challenge that fell to the Boers, the PathFinders. When the moment came, they rose to meet it. Whether you see his actions as good or bad, one thing is clear. They did not shy away when the time for change arrived. Dwelling on people's mistakes, while you yourself have made mistakes like them, is what constitutes a primal error, a deficiency in responsive capabilities, a condition of mental enslavement. Who can deny this statement of fact? The story of South Africa isn't a fairy tale with clear-cut heroes and villains. It's a complex tapestry woven from the actions of diverse groups. The Voortrekkers often gets overshadowed by the dark legacy of apartheid. However, we are here to rise above that to arrive at a complete story. Their settlements, agricultural practices, and governance structures formed an important foundation for the country's development. The Voortrekkers and the movement from Cape to the rest of South Africa showcased a remarkable entrepreneurial spirit. The Voortrekkers were resourceful, adaptable, and willing to take risks, qualities that continue to be crucial for South Africa's economic success. The Voortrekkers' vision for self-governance laid the groundwork for the concept of a unified South Africa. Understanding the complexities of the Great Trek allows South Africa to learn from its history and build a more inclusive future. The Voortrekkers' pioneering spirit should be admired and become part of our shared history, while acknowledging the need to address past injustices. South Africa's strength lies in its diversity. The Voortrekkers are one great thread in the rich tapestry of the nation's history that deserves to be celebrated. Pioneers and Pathfinders. The Voortrekkers' creation of South Africa. A sweeping tale. A tale of adventure and triumph, the Voortrekkers' bold forays into South Africa's heartlands, the makers and creators of South Africa. Imagine the hardships the Voortrekkers faced, navigating uncharted territory, creating towns and cities that we are still enjoying even today, battling harsh environments and forging new lives from scratch. Their resilience and ability to adapt laid a groundwork for future generations to build a strong nation. This statement is worth repeating. I repeat, the Voortrekkers didn't just wander aimlessly. They established towns, developed agricultural practices, and built basic infrastructure. These rudimentary beginnings became the foundation for future growth and development. The Voortrekkers weren't a homogeneous group. They included Dutch settlers, French Huguenots, and even Africans as helpers and assistants. Despite their differences, they came together for a common goal, building a new society on their own terms. Men, women, and children moved forward, their faces weathered by the sun, their eyes steeled with determination. They left behind the comfort of the familiar, choosing instead to chase freedom into the unknown. The terrain was merciless, rocky mountain passes, dense forests, and arid plains stretched endlessly before them, each step a challenge to their strength and endurance. Yet, they pressed on. The Voortrekkers were not a single, homogeneous group but a diverse tapestry of people united by a shared dream to build a new society on their own terms. Among them were Dutch settlers, French Huguenots, and even Africans, who played a role in this monumental journey. Together, they forged ahead into the unknown, driven by courage, hope, and the desire for freedom. This gathering of people, so different in their origins and cultures, was bound by a singular purpose. The Great Trek became not only a test of resilience, but a rare coming together of hands, hearts, and minds. Whether navigating treacherous rivers, building loggers for protection, or tending to livestock and wagons, they each contributed to the progress of the journey. The Africans among them, often overlooked in history, were also part of the story. Their strength, skills, and presence added to the spirit of the trek. While history may tell us that their roles were not always equal, the truth remains that they, too, walked this arduous path, sharing in the dangers and the dreams of those who sought to create a new way of life. It was a rainbow of humanity, each strand adding its color to the rich fabric of this historic journey. Together, they battled the unforgiving wilderness, the sweltering heat, and the unknown that lay before them. Their unity, however fragile, was a testament to what people can achieve when they are bound by purpose. The Great Trek was more than just a migration, it was a story of collaboration and endurance, of individuals, different yet united, striving to shape their destinies. It serves as a reminder that even in the harshest times, people of different backgrounds can come together to achieve something extraordinary. This shared legacy belongs to everyone who walked that path, regardless of their place in the story. This spirit of unity in diversity would become a crucial element in a future, multicultural South Africa. The Voortrekkers, meaning pioneer in Afrikaans, truly embodied the spirit of Pathfinders. As they ventured into the unknown reaches of southern Africa during the Great Trek, 1835 to 1854. Here's a deeper look at their tantalizing idea and its impact. The allure of the unknown : let us recognize the unwavering spirit that refuses to bow to circumstances. The Afrikaner stands as a testament to the enduring power of grit and determination. A reminder that pride comes not from what one receives, but from what one achieves. Escaped from British rule, disillusioned with British policies, the Voortrekkers craved freedom and self-determination. The idea of carving their own destiny in uncharted territory was a powerful motivator. The promise of land. South Africa's vastness offered the tantalizing prospect of fertile land, and wide open spaces for their traditional farming lifestyle. This land would be theirs to shape and govern according to their own values. And now we are all enjoying it. Look around the vast modernity. Look around the top of the class roots, towns and cities. It is all because of the Afrikaner. Learn to appreciate. Pioneering spirit in action. Building towns and cities, great routes, canals, and creating a top, #1 country in Africa. Exploration and navigation. The Voortrekkers weren't just settlers, they were explorers. They ventured into uncharted territories, some even braving the Kalahari Desert. Their expertise in navigating by the stars and reading the landscape was crucial for finding suitable locations for settlements. The Voortrekkers weren't just pathfinders, they were town builders. They established new communities from the ground up, laying the foundations for this great mighty nation of the African continent. It is a fact. It is not fiction. If you want facts, we will give you. And if those facts make you angry, then go to places where you will get fiction. Here we are about the historical fact, not the historical fiction. Historical fictions that you have been fed all your life and it is making you sick and limited in understanding. Open your mind. They built new communities from the ground up, shaping the very foundations of this great and mighty nation of the African continent. This is fact, not fiction. If you seek truth, we will give it to you without hesitation. But if these undeniable truths make you uncomfortable, then you're better off chasing the fairy tales you've been fed your whole life. Here, we deal with historical fact, raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic, but the lies, distortions, and historical fictions you swallowed have left you sick, blinded, and limited in your understanding. It's time to wake up, open your eyes, and embrace reality. Tear down the walls of ignorance and let the power of truth transform your mind. Fact is fact, and we will not water it down or serve it sweetened to appease your delicate sensibilities. For the Boers, the Afrikaners, to do the gallantry and heroic things they did required exceptional resourcefulness and a strong sense of community. The Voortrekkers weren't just pathfinders, they were town builders. Imagine the sheer grit and unyielding spirit of the Voortrekkers, braving the unknown, carving paths through rugged wilderness, and forging towns and cities that still stand today as testaments to their resolve. These were no ordinary journeys, they were battles against nature itself. They crossed untamed rivers, scaled treacherous mountains, and endured searing heat and biting cold, driven by a vision of freedom and self-determination. They established new communities from the ground up, laying the foundations for towns like Pretoria, Bloemfontein, Rustenburg, Polokwane, Veme, Johannesburg, Heidelberg, Karoo, Potchefstroom, Pietermaritzburg, Louis-Trike Mercado, Uppington, Marble Hall, Witbank, Emalaheni, Nelspruit, Mbombela, Cullinan, Bloemfontein, Sandton, Rosebank, and oh, I can go on and on. Is not that remarkable? Absolutely remarkable. The Boers are a great people. The Voortrekkers are great people. The Afrikaners are a great people. All what they did, we enjoy today. What they did are out of hard work. It required exceptional resourcefulness and a strong sense of community. To counter the danger of a single story, we must embrace the richness of multiple perspectives. We must read widely, listen deeply, and seek out narratives that challenge our assumptions. Every person holds a unique story, woven with layers of complexity, contradiction, and beauty. By honoring the diversity of human experiences, we can build a world where everyone is seen, valued, and understood. The story of the Voortrekkers is one such underexplored thread. The Boers cannot be confined and dismissed as people of apartheid. That is the era of history. And we are here to attack that era. The Boers made mistakes. The Voortrekkers made mistakes. Apartheid was wrong. That is the mistake they made, so then what? Humanity must be free to make mistakes. In fact, mistakes, though unmentioned, are a part of our basic rights as human beings. For many South Africans, Their knowledge of this period is limited to the context of apartheid. But that is one part of the larger story. Picture the night spent under vast, starlit skies, where hope and fear mingled in equal measure. The Boers, the Voortrekkers, the Afrikaners faced relentless hardships. Blistering droughts that turned the earth to dust. Storms that tore apart their meager shelters. And an unforgiving terrain that pushed their bodies and spirits to the brink. Yet, they did not falter. With every obstacle, they found the strength to persevere, their hearts steadfast in the belief that their sacrifices would birth a brighter future. This creates a one-dimensional picture, neglecting the complexities and contributions of the Voortrekker movement. The movement of courage and sheer hard work. South Africa is what it is today because of the Boers. Because of the Voortrekkers. Because of the Afrikaners. The danger of a single story lies in its power to create stereotypes, limit perspectives, and erase the complexity of human experiences. When a single story about a person, culture, or group is told repeatedly, it begins to define them in narrow, often distorted ways. This incomplete version of reality oversimplifies lives, reducing individuals to one-dimensional characters and robbing them of their humanity. The Afrikaner start his own business and employ himself, and employ his own people. He does not stay around waiting for other persons to employ him. Learn from the Boer. And when they do not employ him, complain, bitching about racism against him. The Afrikaner does not want you to pity him, see him as a victim and give him social grants out of pity. The Afrikaners by and large do not countenance laziness, but the Afrikaner, by his nature, is not one to tolerate laziness or idleness. His pride is rooted in hard work, self-reliance, and an unyielding determination to shape his own destiny. The Afrikaners do not listen to excuses as to why one is poor. Absolutely. The Afrikaner does not accept the thesis that he or she is a victim of circumstances. The Afrikaner does not accept the thesis that he or she is a victim of circumstances. He sees himself as in charge of his life. This is a people forged in the crucible of adversity, who have risen time and again from the ashes of hardship with their heads held high. They do not ask for favors or sympathy, they ask only for the opportunity to build, to labor, and to thrive through their own efforts. To them, dignity lies not in what is given, but in what is earned through the sweat of their brow and the strength of their resolve. He has internal locus of control, and believes that no matter what the external environment is like, that it is up to him to do what he could to extract a decent living for himself and his family. The Afrikaner stands as a testament to the enduring power of grit and determination, a reminder that pride comes not from what one receives, but from what one achieves. To reduce the Afrikaner identity to apartheid is to deny their broader humanity, their artistry, their culture, their pioneering spirit. It is to overlook their contributions to agriculture, to music, to literature, and to the building of a country. To cope with the exigencies of a multicultural world, we all have to learn to understand each other's cultures. Additionally, we have to learn to feel comfortable around each other. The Voortrekkers stand as a testament to the human spirit's resilience and its hunger for freedom. They remind us that greatness is often born of sacrifice, that the seeds of progress are often planted in the soil of struggle. Their journey was not just a physical migration, but a profound declaration that the right to chart one's destiny is worth any hardship. Let us honor them for their vision, their bravery, and their refusal to remain confined. They remind us that the spirit of self-determination is one of humanity's greatest virtues. Their legacy is not just one of history, it is a timeless inspiration for all who dare to dream of a life lived on their own terms.